Hello, this is a quick look at the LEGO Marvel Wolverine Mech Armor set. This came out on April 1, and I purchased it for $10 US, its regular retail price, and built it live over on Twitch. If you have not by this time seen my review of the Iron Man mech from the same wave, a little piece of hair right there, gotta get that out of the way. Please be sure to check that out because it goes into more detail about the common style that's used for these. They did make one update, which is the reason that they delayed the release of the three that came out at one time. But I will still show you the stuff in this video. I just won't go through things that are common to all three in quite as much detail. The big deal here is the figure, but I'll get to that after the build as usual. Wow, I'm getting a little shaky with my turntable rotation there. It's a pretty strong design, maybe a little bit rectangular in how it looks, how it stands by default, but it's pretty well finished up, I would say. It has a pretty good level of detail going all around it, and it does look pretty consistently good, I'd say, from different angles. Just a little bit of gapping, as you can see from the side here. That's a little bit obvious, comparatively speaking, because of the lighter color, the brighter color of the front of the body. That's the Keat orange color, the flame yellowish orange, orangish yellow, or school bus yellow color. That is a print though. That is also a print right there. Nice to get those two exclusive prints. I like the shoulders. I like the shoulders a lot. And just, you know, the shaping is good. The color scheme for this whole thing I think is very good, and you get plenty of articulation with 3 ball joints. What a luxury! 3 ball joints in the arms, which gives you a good just a good amount of stuff that you can do. You are limited a little bit in forward flexing on this one because of the plate piece, the wedge plate piece there. But I mean, you still have the shoulder armor that is, or shoulder joint rather, that is oriented in a great way to allow you to even reach all the way across the torso, the front of the body. So really, I just can't complain about that. And then each hand has 3 fingers that you can articulate independently, plus the thumb. So you can definitely give a thumbs up, but of course, you're gonna have adamantium sticking out quite a bit. These things are significant. You can change the angles a little bit if you want it to look a little bit different. Maybe fan these out or something like that, or just, kind of keep them relatively close to one another. These can be popped off, because there's so much mechanical advantage. If you touch the end while just swinging it around, these can be popped off, but fortunately they're not particularly frustrating to put back in. Sometimes putting bar pieces into things in Lego can be a little bit frustrating and not the best for younger kids. This is made for, or targeted at kids 7 and up, but I think that this design is fine. It's easy enough to put those back and to get that all proper. So no big deal there. And then for the legs, plenty of articulation here as well, and nice sized feet. So plenty of stability there. It's a common design they've used a handful of times. A little bit of limitation with the legs moving back, the thighs moving back, but you can always just move them out to the side, pretend the whole thing is rotating slightly. So it's really not causing any major problem. Or if that bugs you too much, just that, keeping it in close, keeping the legs in close. I'm just trying to push it to its limit. Just rotate this whole thing around. You can get a lot more out of it. It's just going to look a little bit different than what the designer originally intended, but I don't think that's that big of a deal. Either way, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I'll just put it back like this. You do have a good range of motion down here at the ankles as well. And again, with the big feet, it's very easy to just find a pose and go for it. Yes, it's being held partly by the claw there, but there. Yeah, so it's action pose, done. And that's exactly what I want to see out of any mech that's designed for play. If it was designed specifically for collectors, then I would be willing to have to fuss a little bit. But as a toy, I don't want to have to fuss, and I don't. So success. The only thing that I don't like here is this, which I showed in detail in the Iron Man set review. Won't go into it again too much, but there's an offset in the plane of the ball joint for one leg versus the other. Yeah. If you see it, you see it. If you notice it, you notice it. If you don't notice it, then great. It's not going to cause any issues for you. But I definitely notice it here. And it's a little bit more noticeable with this particular build because of the limitation of the part that can hit right there. So this, this hits and you notice it, I think, more readily than you do here. This one's able to go forward a little bit easier. This is able to open up easily to get the figure in and out, and I think I've said just about all I need to about the mech, so let's move on to the good stuff. This is only the third ever official Lego Wolverine figure. Only the third they've ever done. How about that, huh? For such a desirable character, only the third time they've done a minifigure of one. So that makes this extra special, and it's only the second time that they've done the fully masked up version with the dual molded, what is that? Just mask? Cowl? Mask? Just mask. It's unfortunate that they did not spend extra to get dual molded legs onto this. I think I could have done without one of the prints on the mech in order to get dual molded legs, just budgeting wise, to get the dark blue for the boots, but previously we haven't gotten that either. So maybe there's a substitution out there that will improve that. But just in general, it's just a treat to be able to get this, for people of all ages. Of course, collectors are going to be like, oh yeah, this right here is the only reason to get this. Like, you buy this just for the mech. Like, Lego is being evil. They are forcing us to buy an entire mech and 141 pieces just to get this Wolverine because they know they can. But it's a $10 set, and it's made for kids 7 and up. So let's be reasonable about that. Everybody who's interested in Wolverine, doesn't matter the age, is going to be interested in this figure, I think, personally. Underneath, check this out. Look at that face. Look at that face print. That is good. Yeah, the white is a little bit thin. Could use a little bit more opacity, but overall the design is very good. Very, very good. Happy with that. Very happy with this one. That is perfect. That is great. Not happy with the fact that they did not include a hairpiece to go with that. So now what? So I rotate this around. Okay. I don't want him to be bald headed, so I'm going to put this back on, and yeah, that's just not cutting it for me. He's looking kind of cross-eyed in there. Nah, that's not cutting it for me. Like, this is awesome. I'm gonna bring in the old hairpiece. Imagine if they included that. Imagine if they included that. Oh, it's so flippin' perfect. It's so good. Oh, it's so good. Gosh. Why did they not include that? I love that. This is my first time putting this piece actually on there. Grabbed it just for this review. Didn't test it in advance, and it's major, massive missed opportunity. I've heard that piece is no longer made or something like that. Last came out in the Mighty Micros, I think. That's where I grabbed mine from. Was from my Mighty Micros Wolverine. But yeah, we get this, and that's still a treat. But the double would have been triple a treat. And these here are the only leftover pieces from the set. The price again is $10 US, and yes, value is good. The 2 prints, the figure, overall, the mech itself, weird leg offset is weird otherwise. And also a little bit of limitation of movement there if you don't rotate the joints around. It's not that big of a deal overall. I think the whole thing is good. Could have been a little bit better with the inclusion. Well, no, it could have been a heck of a lot better with the inclusion of the hairpiece. Let me be honest about that. Could have been a little bit better with dual molded legs. So that's more for the collectors. I don't think that these legs are going to cause kids in general to hate this. And folks who want the most accurate possible figure are surely going to go for a swap or even possibly a custom print for that. But that's not part of the deal here. As presented, as sold, good set, happy with it. Let me know your thoughts. Good set, happy with it. That's it for my thoughts. Thanks for watching. Catch you again soon.